neighbors. Welcome to another episode of Tipsy Neighbors. We are five friends with varied opinions and backgrounds. We openly and honestly discuss the subject of the day. No topic is off limits. In fact, if you'd like us to chat about something that's been on your mind, find us on the web at tipsyneighbors.com, on Instagram at The Tipsy Neighbors, or on X, formerly Twitter, at Tipsy Neighbors. Now let's get this episode started.
I swear we always talk about really fun, interesting stuff before.
Well, good, because we captured about 2 seconds of it.
Oh, good.
And then ends.
Just me talking?
Yeah. And nobody talked over you. It was wonderful.
Go ahead and publish that.
It's a first.
Oh my God. Welcome to the first 1 minute. We have not talked over Whitney. And welcome to the first episode.
Not the first episode, but an episode of first.
Yes.
True.
So
I was
the,
hoping no one heard that.
the idea is we want to discuss randomly, as we would in the driveway, different firsts in our lives that might be boring or that might be fun. So,
Or they might not be remembered. Curry.
We will fill in the blanks of Curry's life.
Let's
there
recreate.
was a little trepidation when the topic of first was brought up, Curry. What was your first thought when we said that?
Oh, hell. I'm not going.
Slightly dementia right now.
Yes.
I cannot be bothered.
Cannot be bothered to remember it. Every day's new.
It is odd though, because there are so many things that like I'll ask you and you'll be like,
That
No
has to be
idea.
a trauma response, right?
I want- that's what
because I
I'm
have
like,
other
I know.
friends that it's their husbands, the same thing. They can't remember like hardly anything about their childhood.
It probably is a trauma response, but at the same time, like every day I wake up and it's a brand new day.
It's great. It's fun.
There's
The
I don't
first
have-
day of the rest of your
first
life.
day of the rest of my life. I get to start fresh and I don't remember a damn
wow,
thing.
that's kind of deep,
Yeah.
actually.
That's
And then-
good for you.
And then Justin puts that video in
Or
the
is it?
machine. And,
Yeah, 50 first
and
days.
Curry realizes he has children and,
Yep.
and he's lived this whole life.
I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'll go back to bed.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And we live on a boat. This is so weird.
It's so fun. Yay.
There was an accident.
Seriously, though. Like every morning I'm like,
That is
There we
hilarious.
go. It's like Groundhog Day over and over.
Oh,
Who's this man in my bed?
Oh, no, it's more like, oh, who's this man in my bed?
Exactly. Ooh, yay.
Oh, hello.
So much is making sense right now, actually.
it's a good thing you love to meet new people.
You always look at me like it's the first time we met.
And you are your husband.
Oh,
Please reintroduce yourself.
That is
Okay, we're going to talk about different firsts from our life, but we know that this is going to quickly get off the rails. So, Ty, you want to start with a...
by design. Okay, so as we were discussing all of this stuff this morning, and I guess it was kind of an idea I came up with, the first that I wanted to talk about was my first love in high school. And probably not for the reasons you would think. If you haven't heard my episode yet, my high school and my junior high and high school years were a little rough. And one of the reasons I felt so close to this person and her parents was they were kind of my home away from home.
Oh, yeah.
So I had just a huge amount of respect for her and for her parents. And, you know, there were a lot of times where she was part of one of those dance groups, and she competed a lot and did a lot of that sort of stuff. So sometimes I would be picking her up for a date or something like that, and she wouldn't be home yet. And then she would need to, you know, get ready after dance or whatever. And I would just sit in the kitchen and talk to her mom for quite a while. And I just had the best chats. You know, it was finally somebody that was had some experience and gave me great feedback and stuff. And so that's why I still think fondly of those days and of her and her family. So that's how I'll open with the first.
I like that though. Like just how impactful it is to have somebody like that you can connect with and inspire you. And yeah.
And they were so welcoming of me. And, I wasn't perfect. There were times where, we would be arguing or whatever, and she would drive over to my house so we could talk, and we'd be on the porch, and then her dad would show up because it's like 2 a.m. When those things happened, I felt like I really let him down, and that hit me too.
Yeah.
So just that respect carried a lot of weight with me, and I was grateful for their friendship. So
I like that. Do you guys remember when your first love, like
someone that you really fell in love with? Or are you talking about like elementary school first crush?
Like first crush.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess either, because I think back then it was hard to know, like when you think back now, I think my first crush my first love was my first crush, just because at that point I thought that was love. Does
What
that make
age
sense?
was this?
You think back now though, and you're like, it was totally crushing. Like you knew nothing about these people, but which is funny because like I think of Ty's experience, and that is all associated with like more of a love rather than like a crush.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I could tell you like my first crush in elementary school, and I just thought he was so cute, and all of my friends would chase him and his friends around to the playground. But then in high school, I would say the first person that I had feelings for of love, I can remember that, and he was, I think I loved him because he allowed me to be me and just accepted me for that, where other people I dated before were very critical of certain things. So
yeah.
I've got both of them.
Yeah.
I
like
remember
that.
both.
Curry?
Nope. Got nothing for you.
Oh, Justin, first love.
Yeah. Wait, my first. Should we all guess though for Curry? Like,
Yes,
like
for
I
sure.
bet you had to like. Did you have any like?
Girl in church.
Literally nothing.
Really?
Literally
Didn't
nothing.
you say
don't remember
were you
any
on the swim
crush?
team?
You were on a
I wish I
swim
was.
team?
I mean, no, I was not.
Maybe
That was fantasy
that
of
was
mine.
your fantasy. Yeah.
That was your fantasy of me? No.
Okay.
Not
Well,
that I
now
remember.
in this new life we're building for you.
Not that
you were
I
on the
remember I
swim
was.
team. You
wow,
fell
this
in
is
love
gonna
with a
get
guy
fun.
named Jorge
Oh.
on the swim team.
Pull my Speedos out tonight.
Start
They're
swimming
working on that
tomorrow.
breaststroke.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm trying to think back. Like I think mine are crushes, and then I think like there's like girl crushes because I think that's what I was supposed to be into.
That's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do.
So and there's one girl that I dated in like junior high off and on, and then again in high school, and then like my senior year a little bit. And I would probably say she's probably my like girl crush, but it was a crush. Like it was like not.
Like
Yeah.
good friends crush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I want to take you to the movies.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
Mike,
you
what
like
do you do
not
in
make
junior
out
high?
with
like
you.
you
Not
like
make out
like
with you
your
at all.
hand, like,
yes, you
or
stretch,
you leave your
then
hand on
leave
the
your hand.
armrest.
That was always,
Or
from
like
the
on my
girl's
leg,
point
you
of
know?
view, that was always the most
That was the
awkward thing.
side.
Just like, you're like, well, that's not natural at all.
It's like hold me.
I was in 4th grade.
Oh man,
Classic movie. Classic.
that's hilarious.
Bradley, do you remember?
What are we talking about?
First loves, first crushes? Obviously none before me, but
I swear all of mine were crushes from elementary school all the way till you, really.
oh yeah.
Oh, so you are his first love.
But I told Whitney I loved her pretty early on.
Very early.
Like
on.
when she was still married.
Is that too early?
It's too early.
Like when she was delivering the mail to you.
At least she knew who I was. At work.
Wondering what mail.
Yeah. What mail? I take a minute too on
Here's
that.
your mail, sir. Hello. No, but I always had girlfriends from elementary school till pretty much
Till
we
me.
got married. Yeah. But I mean, every one of them, even from like a young age, I knew it was like a temporary thing. Even when I was an adult and I was dating people and living with people, I knew it was a temporary from the get-go. It was more of a crush and lustful thing, probably.
Very lustful.
Yeah. And then for a few years, I was kind of like, well, this whole dating thing kind of sucks. But if you can just go out and make out with people and do whatever you want.
Yeah, make out.
It's a lot
Mhm,
easier.
Sure.
It's a lot easier that way. So that's what I did for about 2 years while I was friends with Whitney at work. But I'd come back to work and tell her all the stories.
I knew all the stories.
Somehow.
Oh my.
But when we started dating, it was like very, very early on, obviously. I was like, I think this is what love is. Like, I've never felt this before.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll get you.
there's many, many crushes before
So
that. Many
this is
girlfriends. That was life. That was life.
I love it.
Was Justin your first love? Was Curry your first love? Or did you date other people that you were like, yeah, I think I...
This could be the one.
I don't think we started out as love.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Usually
it was
things
like,
start
it
as
was
lust for
crushing
sure.
and like
Crushing, hateful relationship.
at
Yes.
first. Well, for the
All
first
of the
7
above.
months, for the first 7 months, like no, like it was, and he lit like it was different for me because like
complicated.
well, and I had been out for a while, and so like
Yeah.
my idea of hooking up and stuff or like dating somebody was like you still went out to the club, you still went and did that with your boyfriend or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With Curry, it was like he couldn't do that because he has kids. So like it kind of brought me back to this like, oh, like you can still
That's what it was.
be
He tamed you.
gay and still kind of chill out at the same time. Does that make sense? And like be at home and hang out with the family and the kids and stuff. Like, so I was attracted to that. And
He
I
showed
would
you home
say-
life. I did the same thing for Brad.
oh, that is so
Oh my.
true. Oh my God. We kind of are
We
similar.
grounded
Yeah.
them.
Like,
we grounded
We
them. Whitney.
did. Totally.
yeah.
You guys are stuck.
Roped him in.
Suckers.
Not
But like
leaving home.
going back to like love, I would say there's two people that I might say that I was like in love with, and one was my friend in high school, and one was a friend that I'd met kind of after high school, my girlfriend's brother. And I think that
Right.
Keeping it in the family.
like
Doesn't sound right.
yeah, complicated much. Yeah. But I think that was also like what Ty said, because I got to feel a different familial environment than what I was raised with, and it was a connection with the parents and with the other siblings, and like, well, obviously, clearly, but you know what I mean? Like it was like they played family game night every night, and they just talked, and it was something that I was drawn to, that I wasn't aware that it was out there. So there was a much deeper connection. Yeah.
I love that.
Perfect. So great.
What comes after like your first love?
What are you getting at?
Like what,
Your second love?
maybe your first job.
Oh.
That's a good segue.
I like that.
Not where I thought this was going, but yes.
First,
Like
You
working
mean
job,
work,
not
work,
blow.
work.
We'll get to blowjobs later, but
I don't think we will.
I do think we will.
Okay, Whitney, why don't you
Give us
fire that
another
off?
drink and we'll
I
be
have.
there.
I know Ty has an interesting story, so
We won't be sharing. Thanks.
we will be sharing.
thanks for tuning in.
The rest of the episode is Ty.
No.
Curry,
we
this
already
is-
did that.
This is one that you'll remember.
First job. First job.
Oh, I do remember that because you just reminded me. Hokey Okey. Making sandwiches.
Was that a fun job? Did you like that? Like, was it a fun job at the time? Because you had to have been a teenager. Like,
At that point,
How old were you?
like 15.
And it was
15,
like the only
16.
restaurant in
It was the
town.
only thing in town. Like, I would walk to work.
Was it like the cool thing to do? Like if you worked at the local restaurant, it was like that was the cool thing to do.
I don't know. I don't know that I was ever cool in high school. It was just a job.
Did you work at the teriyaki sticks as well?
No, that was after my time.
I wondered.
that was the
Yeah,
best in
'cause that was
college.
always
Because it was
connected.
always
They were
Hokey
always,
Okey
yeah.
yeah, this one was
Same thing.
just Hokey Okey.
Same ownership.
But yeah, I mean, it was a fun job. I enjoyed it. Everybody in town came in, so it's kind of fun to see everybody and like all your friends.
I love that.
So yeah, that was my first job.
Mine was Arctic Circle. Flipping burgers.
Flipping
yeah.
burgers.
Flipping burgers. And I remember like just like my friends would come in and they would order like fries. And then I would put fries and then like hamburgers and stuff in their bag.
You always gotta hook your friends up. Brad?
My
One of
God.
those losses that fast food knows. So my first job where I got like real paychecks, because I worked with my dad doing land surveying for a while. We would just
Yeah, that doesn't
go out in the
count.
field. Yeah.
Or he's
Yeah,
like, here's
yeah.
$20 for 12 hours worked.
Yeah.
I'm going to bill you for tax reasons for 12 hours, pay you $400, but you will see 20. I did a paper route from fourth and fifth grade? It was for 2 years. It was pretty much child's labor. You'd work for a full month doing the biggest newspaper in the state, and you'd get paid like $1, or it wasn't even $1. It was
For a month?
no per house.
Oh.
Oh my God. Yeah,
So,
my-
but per month, my checks were like $32 or $33.
Wow.
And each day, you're probably spending 2.5 hours of folding the newspapers.
Every morning.
These were afternoon, but mornings on weekends.
Oh,
Do you
sounds
guys
awful.
remember the like video game? I think it was a Nintendo game of the newspaper.
Yeah.
You're riding a bike and you're
Paperboy.
throwing
Oh,
Paperboy.
yeah.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
me.
Like this was a video game.
That was my
That was
life.
so
That's Curry's
fun.
first video
and
game.
I always thought
I know this one. I do know that one.
All the memories were unlocking for you.
his face lit up like, oh my gosh, I got a memory. But I remember thinking like being a paperboy would be so cool because
I
of
do
that
remember
game.
thinking that it would
Not
be
so
so
cool.
Yeah.
fun.
Like if you had a sleepover with your friends, you had to wake up.
But you had to do
super
it like at
early.
5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It had to be delivered.
If
by,
it's
I think,
raining or
7.
snowing, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, raining
Nope.
and snowing. That's what they gave you bags for.
I'm pretty
which
sure every
is even
morning I'd
worse.
wake up and be
All
like,
the
I'm not
plastic
doing this.
bag,
Yep,
the
not
wrapper bag for each paper.
I think for
They don't care about
Christmas-
you, just the newspaper doesn't get wet.
I think for Christmas one year, my parents woke up and did it for me.
You had to deliver on Christmas?
It's either Christmas. It had to have been Christmas, right?
So this is why there's now child labor laws,
It was,
right?
it was Christmas because Christmas was the day that you got the biggest newspaper. Remember?
No, that was Black
That
Friday.
was Black
That was
Friday.
Black
with like
Friday.
all of the
All the
coupons
Thanksgiving,
and the
yeah,
ads and
ads.
stuff.
So
Yeah, the thing was
had to have been
massive.
Thanksgiving then.
Nice.
My parents did
Yeah.
that, and then like at 9 o'clock, they're like, "Hey, just so you know, we're never doing that again." They absolutely
knew.
hated it.
And you're like,
They
yeah,
knew.
I will also be quitting.
I quit that job because, for one, it sucked. The pay sucked and the timing sucked. You get out of school, you can't go play because you have to do paper route.
You know, now I can see why your expectation of emptying the dishwasher is like you're
So
like
high, right? So high.
Let's not bring that up again. We hashed that out
We
again
hashed that out this
with the whole
weekend.
family.
So.
So let's not bring it up again. Let's not bring it up again.
oh my god.
But
If you don't empty it, I will give you a paper route.
you think this life sucks?
This podcast is going to be the end of it. Oh my god.
But my family was a pretty peaceful family. My older brother got in one fist fight his whole life
Yeah, I can't even picture
And
John
I
getting a
missed
fight.
it because this stupid paper lady was there and she wanted to talk about like new rubber bands they were going to. I'm like, what the hell? So we're in the driveway and I hear everybody in the backyard like yelling and screaming because I knew they were fighting. I'm like, I totally missed it.
Oh, sad.
So that night I called and I quit.
Oh,
I've had
I
enough.
missed the family drama.
should have
I don't
rubber
care about
bands.
your rubber bands.
I need to be there to
cannot
back my brother up.
I'm allergic to the material in the new rubber band.
Keep your $30.
Oh, that sounds awful.
So then my first job after that, like as like a teenager, was McDonald's. And where I grew up, I spoke English, and all of the English speakers were up front at McDonald's, so I didn't have to flip burgers.
Oh,
Nice.
see where I worked, or the area I worked in, all the women worked up front, and all the men worked
Put
in
the
the
nice faces in the front.
back. Like, it
Back
was
there
weird.
and
They
cook.
totally separated us.
Yeah.
You were talking about giving your friends free food.
Yeah.
So McDonald's had, I'm probably incriminating myself for sure. They had
This is all
Monopoly.
alleged.
This is all alleged. Like this is from a movie, not my life. The Monopoly pieces.
Oh yeah, they
So
came on the
Monopoly
fries.
pieces, yeah. So
Oh, the
during
fraud,
yeah,
because it
and
was a big
the-
fraud.
well, there's free food involved too.
Oh yeah.
That's a hash
oh
brown
yeah.
sleeve.
Yes. So my buddy got fired for stealing like a thing of hash browns with all the because they're so thin and had all those Monopoly pieces. But whenever people would turn them in for a free meal or free fries,
just keep
I would just pocket them.
Oh my god.
But then me and my friends in high school, we ate for free for months.
That
That's
was
a movie of
hilarious.
the fraud, right?
Yeah, there was
Yes.
a documentary on
about the
that.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
It was a monopoly.
My first job was at Van Shoes in the mall, Fashion Place Mall.
Oh, I
Nice.
could see that.
Yeah. It was a fun job, actually. I loved that job. It was really fun.
How old were you?
Well, back when people actually went to the mall.
Yes,
Right.
back when? 17,
True.
I think. 17, or it had to have been 17. My dad was really big on our job was going to school and not working. So
okay.
I don't think I got a job until it was either like the summer of my junior year or my senior year.
So you
Explains-
didn't work during high school.
No,
It was just a summer job.
it was, I think I worked there during the summer. Well, I'm trying to think if it couldn't have been after high school. So it had to have been probably the year between my junior and senior year. I think I did work a little bit into school, but it didn't last I don't think it lasted too long. I just remember that the Warp Tour was coming and everybody wanted that day off.
No doubt.
It was a big, big deal.
Would you create a relationship with your customers and get them to buy additional pairs by giving them a foot rub when you size their feet?
oh my.
No, but you were always supposed to ask if they wanted laces. A second pair of laces.
Oh, really?
They like
Or
upsell
socks.
the laces.
Upsell.
Oh, I see.
Who's not
I
good
see.
at that?
Do you want these generic laces?
Do you want these really cool
can have the
neon
crap
green
laces.
ones?
Oh
that
my
it goes
god,
with.
those were totally in back then.
Neon colors.
Like the big thick ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like
Like
2
the
inches
mushroom.
thick.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Oh yeah. And all the skater shoes, like
Yes.
the fat
Oh,
skater
yeah.
DC shoes. Yeah.
Yep.
Never owned a pair. Never.
Never. You're missing out. I loved my Vans.
Hi, what about you?
My first job, it started when I was like 14. My dad worked at a furniture store in Pleasant Grove, Utah. And every year, Utah County does a home show called the Parade of Homes. And they needed extra help because a lot of the floor stock of furniture would be delivered to these homes to kind of stage homes that were like model homes for a builder, homes that typically weren't sold. So I got recruited to come help deliver that furniture. And I remember talking to the older guys that worked there that I was kind of, just kind of the sidekick for that summer, talking about if the home sells, they give a huge discount to the new owner for the furniture if they want to keep the furniture. So it seemed like the more I would hope that somebody bought the home and wanted the furniture, the less furniture they actually
is
wanted to keep. So I had to move all of his
Gotta get
furniture
rid of
into
all
these
your
homes
hope in that
massive
job.
homes.
and then move it back. And it was even worse because obviously there are pretty strict deadlines about finishing these homes. You real estate agents know how this works. And are they ever on time? No, they're not. So you're delivering like, this is the early 90s. So a $15,000 sectional into a home while the paint's still going on the walls. And the
Carpet's still going.
carpet is being
under your feet.
kicked in.
So true.
Can you
And you're
hold that
kinda
up while I just
stepping
unroll this?
around wet paint and stuff like that.
And
It
the
was-
mud outside.
And the yes,
Yeah.
yes. And my cousin was a hod carrier, and
Was it what?
A what?
a hod carrier. So he bricklayer. He was like the
I thought you
sidekick.
said
Layman's
a
term.
hog
I did
carrier.
too.
And
No.
I'm thinking,
I did
Hod
too.
carrier.
Where were these homes at?
yeah.
So occasionally I would be working at a house where he was. So that was fun, because I'd run into him and stuff like that because we were the same age. But
14?
14, and then that job I pretty much had until, I guess, Word Perfect when I was 16, 17. So, and it was kind of funny because my dad would gaslight me and say, I'm going to be the most flexible job you'll have. If you were to work somewhere else, they wouldn't give you the time off that you want. So you should work here. And that was complete and utter bullshit.
He's just a slave driver. No, you
Sounds
cannot.
like my job for my dad. It never turned off.
No, it didn't.
Which is funny because I feel like that because I worked that for my dad, like going and flipping burgers was so easy.
Did you work for your dad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, on the farm.
But yeah. And then,
Yeah.
it wasn't even until we were like probably 10 that we actually got paid for what we were doing. So then like 10 to 15, we could, I think you
actually
could get
didn't
your
even
first.
expect you to get paid at all.
Yeah. No, we did. He would pay us, I think
good.
like minimum wage.
I remember as a kid when I'd have to sign the taxes. I remember looking at him like, I remember getting like $200 this year. It just says I made so many thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
And I'm like,
hilarious.
You had to
Why?
sign them?
I had to sign something for taxes.
For the return or something.
Yeah. And then he'd get
Yeah,
my
because he
return.
paid all that tax in and he wants to get your return.
Totally.
Yep. But when you worked
paid
for your
twice.
parents, did you feel, since I worked for my dad too, everybody always thought like I was the golden child, like, oh, you're the boss's kid. So you're probably getting paid really well and you get everything easy. And it was opposite for me. Like I got paid probably the lowest and I always got the shitty jobs every time. Did you have that same experience? or no?
Exactly.
I don't think that was my experience. I knew everybody in the office, and it was all my neighbors.
Yeah.
Like all my second parents, basically. Like, so
So there was no like
it was just like they were
hierarchy,
all
really?
raising me at work too.
When I got my next job in the computer industry, I was making just over 4 times as much as I was making working for my dad.
yeah.
So,
But did you get a better schedule?
oh yeah, it was like, we'd
actual
love if you
schedule.
showed up.
That's hilarious.
Seriously, because I was part-time and whatnot, and they just gave me a list of,
Stuff to do.
yeah, if you get this done, great, then this is what we're going to pay you. I loved that job, so I always get everything done, but
Do you remember when you first made $10 an hour and you were like, wow, this is good?
Oh man, the first
Do you know
job
what I mean? Like-
when I first
Oh,
got
yeah.
paid, I was like, man, I'm living the high life. Great, I'm making so much money.
Yeah, I remember thinking like $10 an hour was like you did good, and then now it's these kids that like
They're not even
apply
going to touch it.
for a job that's like $15
I
an
know.
hour. Like, nope.
and
Not
California
worth it.
minimum
Not
wage is
worth
$20
it.
an hour for
Yeah,
fast food right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
hell.
and hamburgers are like $17 an hour or $17.
Oh, at least.
Well, you would
For a
leave
Big
a
Mac.
job. You would leave a job to make an extra like 15 cents an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure.
Totally.
For sure.
You're like, I'm going to make an extra $800 this year. Like, I'm gone. See
That is so much money. Yeah, everything is so relative, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
And
fascinating.
our kids won't even apply for anything under 20.
I know.
you
It's
have a part-time job
so
making
crazy.
$100,000.
and can I just pick
don't
my
wanna
schedule?
come in.
Yeah, can I just pick my schedule like 1 or 2 hours a week?
Totally.
Let me know when you guys find this job. That sounds great.
Wow.
All right. What's the next first?
First
Since I
car.
stole Whitney's, I feel like I need to come up with another one. I just thought about that after I just blurped it out.
Curry, did you say
What
first
about
car?
your first car?
Yeah, simple one.
Ooh,
Oh, I love it.
I had a Geo Prism.
Nice.
It was a Toyota Corolla, of course, but it just had the Geo logo.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
It wasn't a Dodge
I
Neon.
remember like telling myself that. That's so funny. Yeah.
Now that I'm saying it out loud, it doesn't quite make sense, but
I thought you actually switched the emblems.
No.
In his head.
funny.
In his head.
They really did use the same parts, so that's why. But it's just funny that like it was a
okay. My first car, I actually don't even, it was a Hyundai and it was just as old as it was a 1987
Did you say
Hyundai.
Honda? Did you say Honda?
Was it a Geo Prism actually?
They use the same parts, so who knows?
It's fine. We can call it what we want.
That thing was so slow. It was always the joke of like, you don't pull out in front of anyone. Like you have to wait until the roads are clear before you step on the gas to try to get out of the neighborhood because that thing was 0 to
pick up
60 in 4
No
hours.
get up
like,
and go.
oh, it was so bad.
Oh,
So
no.
bad. No power steering, I think.
What
Like
color was it?
black.
Nice.
That's so funny. My first car was an Isuzu Rodeo.
Oh,
nice.
you're like the rich kid that I like always idolize because they got to drive like a
No.
Pathfinder or an
So
Isuzu
not
Rodeo.
the Rolls Royce
No.
that I was thinking.
But keep in mind, I didn't have a license to drive it.
Oh.
It was when I was 17, but I didn't have a
risque.
license yet
Wait.
Why not?
Yeah. When did you
because
get
I
a
didn't
license?
have my Eagle Scout.
Oh my god.
Oh, shut
My
up.
parents
Your
played
family
that
was
game.
one of those.
But I got the car and had to have my friends drive it.
Your parents let your friends drive it instead of just letting you get
I would
your
drive
license.
it to my friends and then let them drive it.
Your parents are
Oh
okay
my
with that?
Uh huh. That was okay as long as I
What?
drove it to my friend's house and
Did
they drove.
Did they have an Eagle Scout?
Hilarious.
Uh huh.
Ah, that makes sense.
That's why.
Or we're female.
Or we're female. Perfect.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Oh, parents.
I
rules.
had it was my brother's car and he went on his mission, so I got it. But it was a Saab 900 Turbo.
Nice.
It was nice in 1986, but it was a classy one. It was actually super fast.
Is it like the
bad.
hatchback Saab? Is that like the hatchback
Yeah.
Saab?
Yep. They had like a whale tail spoiler on it. Turbo ones.
Did John buy the car or did your parents buy the car?
John bought it, so he bought it for like $2,200.
And he let you drive it while he was on his mission. Yeah. Let is
He
probably
didn't
like
know.
yeah.
What
exactly.
about what about you? Did you buy yours?
No, my parents bought it off of a neighbor. I think he was the bishop at the time or whatever. I think he sold it to them
Wait,
for like
Neighbor?
$250.
Like the app?
no, like a neighbor.
Like
Oh my gosh, I was like, that was not around back then.
We
you
didn't
know,
even
like the
have cell phones.
Mosses are to you guys.
Do we know what neighbors?
The people that live next door.
Nobody
I'm
knew
so
what an app
confused
was.
when you said that at first. I'm like, yes, a neighbor.
That's hilarious.
I was like, I'm missing the inside joke.
I'm like, do you know her neighbors? Like,
No.
that was weird.
No, it was super cheap. I think they paid $250 or maybe $500 at the very most for the car.
Ty, what was your first car? And then I want to go to what is the first car you bought?
Well, before I get there, in elementary school, I had a sweatshirt that said snob on it, and it was spelled with 2 A's, like sob. I love that sweatshirt.
Classy.
I like that you
I
remember
don't know
that
why,
sweatshirt.
but it's just the sob coming up. My first car was a Volkswagen Golf. My daddy gave it to me. After a month, I was driving it home
Rich kids.
from work one day, and I got in a head-on collision, doing about 50 miles an hour, both of us.
Wow.
Was that
And that was the end of that car.
you? Who caused that one?
It was my fault. I failed to yield a left turn. Oh, man. And an elderly gentleman piled straight into me. So it was a sad day.
I hope he is okay. Was okay.
Did everyone survive the crash?
Ironically, his like attending nurse or something was following like a quarter mile behind him, and so she just got out and helped him.
What?
That's what I was told.
What just happened? What just happened?
Was that
I
your
was in
parents'
shock.
way of like saving your feelings and saying he died?
It was his time. It was his time.
We didn't want
he
you to
died.
feel bad.
No, he didn't die.
think
He
he
didn't die because
Geriatric
Somehow-
care was in the car behind him.
Following him to the crematorium.
my dad somehow got his phone number and he made me call him, and apologize and everything like that. And now I'm realizing that was my dad's hope at manipulating the guy into not suing us or something. I don't know. So
Or wasn't actually the guy because he wasn't around to answer.
it
was a
was
family
my dad
member.
on the other line. He's like, "Hello, this is Carl."
Just unpack some new trauma for you, Ty.
Dad, I could hear you in the other room.
Call my work line.
I told you they could sew his head back on.
Oh my!
Wow. That
So,
first turned
that was
bad.
my first car. It was great while it lasted.
For a month.
And then my daddy bought me another car.
What was the first car you bought yourself?
Oh,
A Mazda 3.
no,
We were
it
all
would have
looking at
been. Oh, it was a Toyota 4Runner. Yeah. After I had moved to Spokane
your
and
first?
stuff, I bought it from my dad.
That was my first car too.
A Toyota
Nice.
4Runner.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I tried to buy an Audi,
Ooh,
and my buddy's dad
Nice.
owned a dealership, and he was like, horrible mistake, first car. He's like, you're going to have like a 22% interest right out of high school, and I bought it
geez,
myself
yeah.
with no credit.
oh,
So he's like, dude, buy this used Toyota 4Runner. He's like, you can have it for 2 years, build credit, sell it for the same price.
true.
And I had it for 3 years, and I sold it for like $600 less when I bought it.
I actually made more money when I sold it because I sold it to the insurance company because I rolled it going skiing one day.
Okay, is this a do not get in the car with Ty?
Yeah, exactly what I'm hearing.
It's why he drives what he drives now.
That's right.
I thought you were going to say slow.
Yeah.
I don't really drive slow, I guess. All right.
Whitney, you kind of mentioned. yours
I already
earlier.
said mine.
Wait, but is that the one you?
A Mazda,
A Mazda
3.
3 is what I bought with my own money.
Everybody
the
just
first
happened to
time.
be looking at Ty when she said it.
You said it, no one was
sorry.
answering. So
Everybody was looking at Ty.
And again, we talk over the top.
nobody in the podcast can see you looking at Ty. I just threw out an answer.
Mazda 3, huh? How old were you?
Married.
Which time?
16,
So
16, 17?
so 20 maybe.
Well, 16,
Curry?
17, is that what you said, Brad?
I haven't bought my own car yet.
He's not lying.
He has those sugar
I haven't
daddies,
bought my
you know?
own car yet.
Before me? No, just kidding. I'm not gonna go there.
Daddy bought those. He doesn't know that he did, but he did. I still haven't bought one.
Oh my god, that is
One
so
day
funny.
I hope to buy my own first car.
Wow.
Still working on it. Still working on it.
Love it. It's good to have goals.
So not
good
a
to have
first.
goals.
No first for Curry on that one.
No first
That's a
for me.
legitimate.
That's a
That's
legitimate
why
one.
now it's all making
See,
sense.
I don't have any
That is
first.
so funny. Mine was a Toyota Corolla. I mean, a Geo Prism. I actually bought my first car that I had.
Nice.
Look at you, so responsible.
For sure.
My parents, well, I could drive probably one of the cars, but like I just didn't want to be ever be like grounded or like that was my car. So
Oh, they couldn't.
head.
Yeah,
They
they
couldn't
couldn't
ground
take it
you from
away
it?
because
Yeah.
they weren't the purveyors of the vehicle.
No,
I love it.
No, I don't know.
I was like, I could still ground. I think like,
What?
yeah, you bought it, but you're grounded to the house.
Yeah, because we had like a family van, like an Econo van, but it was a
Was
custom.
it a 15 passenger?
No, it was a custom one though.
A custom 15
So
The
like
seats reclined all the way. Is that what you're saying?
well, the
Whoa.
back turned into a bed, and it had like
That sounds like a recipe for disaster
Oh.
with teenage kids.
yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it does.
Plays dumb. Brad plays
What are you
dumb.
talking?
But me and all my friends, we'd get into the van, and it was a big party van.
oh,
Not whoa.
whoa.
Okay, well,
Hold
that
on,
will lead
let's-
us to our next first.
Let's see. 16-year-old chair.
If the van was rocking, would anyone come knocking?
Everyone at that age.
Everyone.
Yeah. What are you doing in there? Why are the windows all
Are you
fogged
playing
up?
7 minutes?
We're just
in heaven?
cleaning. We're just cleaning. Leave us alone.
It's my turn to clean the
Cleaning?
bottle.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right.
We're vacuuming the car out.
Trying to think of anything else that you could do in the car.
Wow. Literally anything else, nothing came to mind.
Cleaning.
I mean, that's the only other thing I really do in the car besides driving.
Brad's
Thanks for
on the date. He's
clarifying.
like, hey, you want to see my van?
do you want to watch me scrub the seats?
This one turns into a
This
bed.
turns into a bed. Watch me clean it.
Do you want to polish this stick shift?
That one probably got said.
It's an automatic. Yep.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I said it was an automatic. I never thought of those things. Anyways,
You're a pillar of virtue, Brad. What's that look for, Whitney?
Oh boy.
you knew who I was when you married me.
I absolutely did.
In
Why
fact,
do you think
Brad
I
was
married
like,
you?
Oh no, I told her all the stories. Will she marry me?
There's not many skeletons in my closet.
Nope. I knew exactly who you were when I married you.
All right. What's the next first?
First
Anybody have one?
time you drink alcohol.
Oh,
First drink you had.
geez. You mean last week? Seems like.
You're so proud of you, Ty.
Yeah, you are like the newbie, huh?
You would have been
Well, I drank in
youngin.
high
the
school.
latest
You're the
bloomer.
youngin. Oh, you did.
Yeah. So
I
Oh
guess
yeah, your never
my
mind.
grandparents.
Your grandparents, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. I forgot about that.
In the garage.
Yeah.
The ice shed in the back.
I guess we could kind of break it into
All right,
two.
so let's
first
do
time
that.
you tasted it, or the first time you like really drank it to get drunk.
Oh, I was drunk, for sure drunk. So my
sounds like a
grandparent,
teenager thing
my
to do.
grandfather was a commercial fisherman, and in those days, he would fish out of Utah Lake, and then is it Blackfoot Reservoir that's near Soda Springs,
Yeah.
Idaho?
Mhm.
Okay, so he would also work up there sometimes, and you got the rowdy crew that works on the fishing boats and stuff like that. So my uncle, his family owned the Coors distributor in Orem, and there was always tons of beer and like cases of beer inside this ice shed that was the ice. It would make ice so that they could pack the fish and ship it off other places. So I would go over there and steal a case every once in a while.
And wasn't
And
it like the
Yes.
mixed
alcohol.
drinks? But what were they?
Oh, the
they were
cocktail.
called?
Oh, the
Like the
wine coolers.
Wine
wine
coolers?
coolers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
weren't they with the wine coolers?
They had wine coolers
Yeah.
too, but I typically just stole the beer.
didn't mess
You were
around with
drinking
that
beer?
sweet
Well,
stuff.
I didn't think people would notice the beer being gone because there was so much beer.
Oh yeah.
So, but the sad thing is I always drank alone because I was worried that it would get back to my parents if I drank with somebody else. So it was more like I would get in a fight with a girl, and then I would be like, "Oh, I think I'm sad."
I'm going to go
I'm
talk
gonna
to
go,
grandma.
I'm gonna go.
I'm
gonna go
hang out with
park at
grandma.
UVU and pound a 6-pack of beer, and then my house was up the street, so it was pretty safe to drive. Even
I kind of want to
Little
get back
tipsy,
to this.
so.
You lost me at your grandfather
Yeah, I
was a
didn't
fisherman.
know that someone could be a fisherman in
I'm
Utah.
thinking-
Right?
Utah Lake.
Yeah.
I'm
Did I
thinking
hear?
of like
4
Dungeness
generations.
crabs.
That's hilarious
Yeah.
because then when you said that's like Blackfoot Reservoir, I can't imagine that being a place they would go to like.
yeah, no, they actually were.
Like, did they catch
commercially
3 a
raised
day?
So originally it was like trout and stuff like that, and
We're
they
looking
used
for rainbow
nets,
trout.
like we're pulling serious
Wow.
stuff. And then, fast forward a couple generations to my uncle, and my cousin, who were kind of the last owners of the business. They had contracts to pull carp out of Utah Lake because the carp was getting so
yeah,
thick it
that's-
was going to kill the lake.
Yeah, that's all that was ever in there.
Yeah. So they, when it was getting so overrun, the state would hire my uncle because he had the equipment to try and pull as much out as they could.
Did it look
I mean,
like one of
like
the deep
50
sea,
tons sometimes? they would
Yeah,
pull
like a
in.
deep
deep
sea
sea
fish
fishing
boat?
ones, like with those huge nets and the big outriggers.
No, actually, no, because Utah Lake's so
It's so shallow.
shallow.
I just remember
Yeah.
water skiing
they
on
would-
Utah Lake and like
yeah,
Yeah.
crashing and standing up and walking to the boat.
yeah. so they would use
right
nets.
there. Don't-
they would
don't
use
circle
nets and,
around.
and
Circle
corral the
around.
fish and pull them in. Yeah, so they and they would do it in the winter. And my grandfather knew the lake, and my uncle knew the lake so well. If there was ever like a jet ski accident a couple of times happened and somebody died,
Yeah.
the currents would take the bodies somewhere, and my grandfather always knew exactly where they would end up. So he would go help
You're
body
getting
recovery
really
and
morbid
stuff.
on all your stories.
Because I'm old. I'm old.
So
and I
somehow
have all
relate
these-
this to death on this one.
They're all
Carnage.
connected.
I went from accident to actual death.
You're going to see where else this leads? Okay.
All ties.
That's when I
first.
saw my first dead body. No, I wasn't there, but yeah.
I almost
Anyway,
forgot about the question at this point.
I think I did, even answering it.
Look, Bradley, first time you tasted alcohol.
Or saw death.
There it is. Or death, whichever first
There
you'd
were no
like to
pirates.
answer.
There was no pirates.
First time I tasted any alcohol was we had friends in high school that had a party and they drank like 40 ounce, like the malt liquor.
Ugh.
You ever tasted that?
I hate malt.
It's so beery.
No.
It is
Like
so
crazy
nasty.
alcohol-y.
It's so nasty. So when they were drinking that, I tasted it. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But they they got a bunch of ice, put it in the bathtub. The parents were out of town, but they put it in the bathtub, put all these like 40 ounce drinks in there.
I'd be out with that.
I tried.
in the
I
bathtub.
tried
Who's putting
one.
any alcohol in the bathtub?
Well, I'm
Well,
going to now
were
throw my
using it
parties
as a
that way.
cooler. They were using it as a
Don't
cooler.
invite me.
That was before everybody had big camp coolers and those not Yeti.
Like they'd fill the tub full of ice.
Yeah. And then they just
put
put a
the
bunch of
beer in.
beers in there.
That
Juice.
seems very
Jungle beer juice.
college esque
It
party.
wasn't. No, it was just the bottles in there.
I was
They were
going to say
using it
backwoods.
strictly.
As the cooler. I
As
see.
the
I see.
cooler.
Yes,
It wasn't
and-
like a barrel where you pour
Yeah, it wasn't
the
jungle.
Sanitary.
Everclear in and all the fruit.
Put it in the horse
fruit.
trough.
Clearly, you grew up on the west side.
Sorry, we didn't have. Sorry, we didn't have the horse troughs.
I'm just thinking unsanitary. Like, ugh.
No one's eating the ice.
No one's eating the ice. And the beer is
What's this
sticking
little
out
hair?
of the-
Oh my gosh.
I got this little razor.
Wait, how old were you?
Not to come to your parties.
High school.
In high school.
Yeah. And I tasted it and it was nasty. So I was like, yeah, I'm okay.
This was like a party. Parents were out of town party.
Yep. On the weekend. But
I don't
everybody
know that I
was,
ever went to any of those.
everybody
in
was
high school.
drinking
I didn't
them.
either.
But I wasn't going to drink it to get drunk because it tasted so nasty.
Curry, maybe. We were definitely not within popular crowd.
But so the first time I drank to get drunk, it was with my girlfriend's brother, and I think we broke up at the time. Me and the
Hey,
girlfriend.
Justin, too. Oh, no.
Well,
They
a
didn't
little
drink.
bit different story. Little different story.
Was not in love with him.
Oh, well, carry on anyway.
So he got us this double date.
Disconnected it.
I still haven't.
The girlfriend's brother.
Continue. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
Except for I did not have a crush on him.
It didn't end
We just
in a
happened to be-
blowjob. It just friends.
neither did mine.
Hanging out. Unfortunately for you. But
So many
you.
firsts.
True.
so he got us this double date, and he was a drinker. And so he went to the liquor store and got this. It's called Ice 101.
Oh my gosh, totally used to drink it.
That was the first time I got drunk, and it was off Ice 101. And he was like, if you drink this, you get drunk quick. And it's like you had a mint or gum in your mouth because it's so minty. Like it's like drinking Listerine.
So you're ready to make out with
Is it like
anyone
50
all
proof
night
or
long.
something or what?
I mean, it's stronger.
101 proof?
I felt like when I drank it, I was like
I think
throwing
it's
up the next
it's
day.
101 proof. It's pretty strong,
Well, that'd be.
right?
Oh no, that'd be 50%.
Oh yeah, the
right?
101.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
so it
sense.
was 101. But it was good. That was the first time I got drunk
Holy
off that.
cow!
On a date.
On a date with my
Girlfriend's brother.
Kind of girlfriends, yeah, on and off.
We dated all of high school, but we were kind of on
The
and off.
girlfriend.
Girl.
The girlfriend, not the girlfriend brother.
I was going there too.
Like,
When I thought, I've beaten this,
I gotta
kicked this
speak to
dead
my-
horse too many times.
It's
fun to do,
oh wow.
Don't need everyone to know how drunk I am right now.
Curry.
Got nothing.
Oh,
You don't remember your
Remember
first
the
drink?
first time?
I do not remember my first drink.
Must have been good.
Was it before? Was it after you got divorced?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On a
Wasn't
date?
it
Or maybe on a
after?
date?
Wasn't it after we had kind of broken up and you started hooking up with my best friend?
Oh,
That's also a first.
I'm pretty
Also
sure
a
that that
first.
was when
I'm
it
not
happened.
sure.
I'm pretty sure. No, I mean, not like that. I'm still bitter
Wow,
about
wow.
No bitterness in my voice
I
at
know
all.
where this is going because this is how Whitney talks to Brad.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Wow,
The
do you want to
podcast
talk
that
about
lasts
something
all
else?
week long.
A week, I wish.
Depending
Check
on the
back with
subject.
me next week.
Anyway,
I don't remember.
that's so funny to me.
I literally don't remember when I started. It was definitely
It was around that time.
Do you remember?
Do you remember what
it
drink?
was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you
No.
remember the first time you got drunk? Like you were like, oh,
Was it wine?
no. It might have been wine.
you
with
might
that.
have been roofied.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I really
That was
don't
not
remember.
the first time.
You just woke up one day and you were an alcoholic.
Yeah,
Here I am.
Here I am.
How did I get here?
High functioning alcoholic.
and
So
I'll
you're
probably
telling
wake up
me-
tomorrow with the same thought.
You're telling me I'm gay? I have children. I'm an alcoholic.
We
I
leave
can't
that
wait for
part out of
tomorrow.
the movie every morning.
In the hopes that it doesn't.
It doesn't stick.
I have this high affinity for liquor. I don't know why.
I'm so thirsty right now.
What's in this cupboard?
Wow.
This word tequila keeps going through my head.
Justin,
I know that I tried it. Like, just I grew up and had a friend whose dad drank, and so I'm sure that I tried it at some point. I remember at some
beer or
point, yeah, beer. He always had beer in the fridge. But I remember the first time that I actually got drunk, and it was when I was a freshman in high school. And it was off of those. It was like kind of like the Mike's Hard Lemonade, but it
the
was.
wine cooler thing.
But yeah, they were the little
Seagrams?
Jack Daniels ones.
Oh, yeah,
and they had
yeah,
like the
yeah.
little mini. They looked like a little mini bottle almost. And anyway,
Oh, that sounds so cute.
and we would do. I looked for them just to see if I could find
I
them.
was freshman of high school.
And I guarantee they're just disgusting.
I'm sure
like
they
they're
are,
so
though.
sweet and yeah.
Well, now
try
they're
it.
just the pre-mixed, right? Like you can buy the
Yeah.
Coke pre-mixed and the Crown
Oh,
pre-mixed,
right,
and the
right,
peach
right.
ones and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But they were like fruity flavor, right?
yeah. I remember there was a lemon
Like
one.
the Jack Daniels.
There was a lemon one, and then there was like a mixed berry or something, like
Yeah.
a strawberry.
We'll have to find those for our tipsy neighbor retreat. Day
Oh.
one.
Oh,
Day one.
yeah.
Yes,
Everybody
please.
bring your
Let's
first
find
liquor.
that.
Oh my gosh, no.
Day one of the Tipsy Neighbor retreat.
We got a fridge full of White Claws.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we drinking these still?
Or tequila sodas for Curry because that's all he could remember is what he's drinking last week.
I think I like this.
I think in high school. So in high school, we drank the wine coolers. We had a buddy that worked at the grocery store, but he would steal like a 6-pack for like 8 of us.
Yeah.
And he, well,
We'll share. We'll share.
and
It's
so
fine.
we
Guys,
we
these are
drank them.
2%.
We
Yeah,
drank
gonna
them.
get
hammered. You take
But
2
we never-
drinks, I'm drunk.
But he was his family had some
wasted.
money. His family had money, so my buddy he had like the whole basement to himself, and so they had like a wet sauna, dry sauna, all this stuff in the basement. So we'd go down there and sit in the dry sauna, pretending we were like these rich people drinking wine coolers. You know, we're like
That's high
17
society
years old.
right there.
We thought we were so cool.
I
But
love it.
there was never enough. There was never enough to get drunk by any means. So,
Nice.
We have
it
6
was
of
all the
these for
wine
10
coolers.
people. So
that's
Take
around,
a sip and
that's
pass.
around the time that Mike's Hard Lemonade came
Jeff.
out.
You drink
yeah.
too
much.
Do you remember Zima?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
my
we had
gosh.
those.
The Skittles, putting Skittles in it to like flavor it.
We were never that clever.
Yeah, I just remember we would do like bonfires. Like, you know, all of our friends would go out. We would take like sleeping bags and stuff so we could just camp out there. And it was like 50-50 of whether the cops were going to show up or not.
What? Because
Yeah.
they didn't have anything better to
They
do.
totally,
So it's
totally.
like, oh, I think they're out there.
Drinking Zimas.
troubled kids.
We had a sleepover at the football field at the high school. That was kind of fun. Just randomly, everybody showed up.
Randomly.
How many people?
That was my first sleepover.
Yeah, Whitney, we were not cool.
We were not cool.
We didn't do any of this.
What were you doing?
Singing hymns at home for family night.
I think when that was happening, Whitney wasn't even born.
Also,
You're not
much
that
older.
much older than
Like 15 years older than you.
What was your first drink there, Whitney Lee?
I was 26.
Oh,
And-
Saving yourself.
For sure. Something had to get saved.
oh my god!
Like I said.
No, you were deployed and I was with actually my family, but we went to my brother's friend's house and he mixed a ton of liquor together in a drink. It was disgusting. So I had one drink and I was like, yeah, that's going to be that.
Wait, I wasn't deployed.
Yeah, I think you were.
Uh-oh.
No, because we
See
went
you in a
out,
week.
we went out drinking before my deployment, didn't we? In Texas. Remember with my army buddy?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have been deployed then.
that
So I
wasn't
may have been
Whitney.
at army training.
You
somewhere.
were probably at training or something.
Brad, that
Yeah,
wasn't
you wouldn't
Whitney.
have been.
It was probably when you were still married to someone else. Probably. Probably.
Well, probably technically. Well, then
When you
maybe
were
it was
delivering
25.
mail. When you were delivering mail.
Let me get a quick swig of that.
Want a shot?
It's a new definition for mailbox.
Oh my gosh. I don't think that's the new definition.
This is the real rum chata.
So 26, huh? 26?
I think the first time though that I drank to get drunk was when we were like right before you deployed in Texas. I think that's the first time I think I had enough alcohol.
You were throwing them down, and you did not get.
I was not like
You did not get drunk that. Like I
Nope.
thought you were.
nope.
13 wine coolers deep.
She was taking shots of tequila.
Mm.
I couldn't do tequila
Going hard.
back then because of one rough night.
Oh,
I can now do tequila, but
We
kind
know
of like
we've
me and
seen-
Sambuca now. Not my friend. Ooh. Even thinking about it, I'm like, ooh.
Okay, well we talked about this. Was that everybody's first? Yeah,
yeah.
drinking. What was when was the first time you saw your first pornographic image?
Besides Schindler's List,
Yep, that one doesn't count.
Does anybody
Is it-
remember that being on TV?
Oh, yeah.
They posted on TV.
Yeah. And it was always so weird
My
that
parents
was
sat
okay.
us down.
To have, yeah.
It was a big to do because I remember my parents like sat us down. They're like, "We're watching this movie. It's very historical. You're going to see images." And it wasn't just nudity. It was like you're going to see, sick people, like what
Yeah.
happened during that time. But
We never watched those.
No, same.
My parents bought the edited versions.
You had
So the
VidAngel
stories
before
never-
VidAngel was.
Yeah, the stories never made sense because they would just
Bleep them
skip.
out. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that movie, but I don't ever remember my parents like preparing me for a conversation or anything. It was just like it happened.
Shut up and
Crossed it,
sit
I
down.
think.
Watch
I
this.
should probably go back and watch it now to see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It
I
just has
don't think I've
people-
ever seen.
There's
It's
just
Schindler's
the
List.
Holocaust, right?
I know what it is, but
I
I,
know
don't
it,
think
but
I've
I
ever
don't-
seen
it
it.
had nudity with
Yeah.
people in lines that were
Yep.
because they took all their clothes. So it has a female line, a male line, and it's just all these.
And you could
skinny,
see it
naked
all.
People, yeah.
Yeah, we never
there was
saw
nothing sexy about it.
No.
Oh yeah, no,
Definitely
no.
Definitely not.
Oh, I've
It was
seen
just
images.
sort of
I've
traumatizing.
seen images and different things. I just don't think I've ever seen that one
But
movie.
it's funny because we saw a lot of violence in our movies growing up, watching rated R, like Army movies, Navy SEAL movies. And so when my parents sat us down, they were probably talking about both, now that I think about it, of like the violence, and cruelty to humans, and nudity. But I took it all as, hey, there's going to be nudity in here. Don't try not to fixate on it. That's how I took it as a kid. But now looking back, I'm like, they're probably talking about both.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
hey, this is kind of
Yeah.
a traumatic thing. But
So when did you see actual like porn, like porno?
Justin's like, this is depressing.
what
Let's go
other
back
way?
to porno.
Like the
other way
R-rated
can we
movie
say
that
porn?
shows boobies,
I was
or
actually
like
trying to get away
porn.
from the question. But anyway.
Let's go right back to what we're talking about. Wow.
I was probably in third grade.
That's so young.
Third grade?
So third grade, I remember being at recess and there was a couple kids.
Again, West Side.
I remember we didn't have iPhones
been
and
profiled.
iPads.
That's true. Magazine?
It was a magazine. And this kid,
That's a big thing
So-
to hide
but
in
there
like
was-
on a third grader.
there was a couple kids
It
in
can be
our
done.
school that were
Dealing it.
we'll say ghetto. Is that the word? Should I use that word? Probably not. Probably not. Anyways,
There's a few kids.
They were probably a little more. Not ghetto is definitely not the word, but they were a little more like risque, and they were always the troublemakers or in trouble, and their family was always in trouble.
So they were neglected.
Yeah.
Well, that's a joke
Troublemakers?
I mean,
Could be.
Parents were into hard living.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
probably. I think mom was in prison.
Yeah.
Dad is probably an alcoholic. Pretty sure
Probably.
he ended up going to prison later, but
He was drinking. He was drinking that Spirit 101 or whatever that was. That stuff.
Hello, human kindness. Just.
Left to their own
But
devices.
this kid, I wasn't even like friends with him. We were just out there. We were the same age. And he was like, hey, you want to see something? So he took like me and like three of my buddies out
Come
to
behind this tree.
out to the field. And he was like, look at this. And like we looked at it out there. I'm like, what the world? What is this? And it was like shocking, right? I'd never seen anything like that. And it was
On the way out the door,
Oh,
that
that
kid's
totally
dad's like,
unlocked a memory.
bring that one back. It's my favorite.
Make sure you put that one back under the
Great.
mattress.
But I remember the kid, he didn't take it back inside. He hid it under, back then, like when they cut those big fields of grass, the lawns, there was just clumps of grass everywhere, like lawn.
Yeah.
everywhere. And he piled grass on it and left it outside. And so me and my buddy's like, Dad, we should get out early. And
We
try
got
to
to
steal
run. We got to run to
We gotta
this.
get
Still.
that first.
it." Yeah. He'll never know. But
He'll never know
we
it was
did not.
us that watched him hide it. And
We did not. And I think we probably forgot about it like 4 hours later. And it was just a memory at that point.
it's young.
Third grade.
Third grade.
Yeah. Bad influences.
Whitney,
Yeah.
what memory was just unlocked?
Well, because I was thinking that I had to have been like much older before I saw pornography, but it unlocked a memory of a girl in my class. She was new to the school, I remember, and I think her mom was
She
trying
was
to set
nude
up.
to the school.
New to
And
the
what
school.
age? Yeah, what
Oh.
age are you thinking?
I'm thinking 4th or 5th grade.
Wow, that is so young.
But yeah, and it's even worse because her mom set up a play date to like
man.
make friends, and she lived
On the west
like
side.
in my neighborhood. Yes. No, she lived like, I wouldn't have considered it my neighborhood, but looking back, like she lived just in like the next, it like connected, you know?
On the west side of the street.
Yes, very much so. No, but I went and we had a very
West
fun
End
play
girls
date.
do.
What song is that?
Sometimes you're better off dead. There's a gun in your hand. It's pointing at your head. Pet Shop Boys.
Oh my God.
My gosh.
Whoa. Totally remember.
Curry and I were listening to hymns, remember?
Sound like a gigapet?
No,
Gigapet.
No?
Okay, so
Okay.
sorry.
You guys know that song.
Anyway, we had like a great play date, but towards the end, we were waiting for my mom to come, and I remember her like, "Hey, do you wanna see these pictures? I'm not supposed to show anyone." I'm like, "Sure."
Her mom.
Her mom.
Her parents were swingers, and they had photo books of their parties.
Oh wow.
Shut the front door. Wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
What?
when did you find this out? Like as a kid, when did you find out that your friend's parents were swingers?
I mean, I didn't realize it at that. I was like, "This is a weird party,"
But she
because like
was in
people are
4th grade.
nude.
No clothes?
Shut
did
the
their
front
clothes go?
door.
What happened to their clothes?
Oh, I mean, it's probably nice if you take them off and kindly fold them to have a party, so like nothing spills on your nice clothes. You know.
That makes sense.
You don't get the upside down pineapple juice on your clothes.
I just remember thinking like this is weird, and we're not supposed to be looking at these.
Yeah.
Like I knew we were not supposed to be, but it wasn't until I was much older that I figured out like
Her parents were
what the
in
What
parties
was
were.
actually happening?
What?
Her parents were in these pictures she was showing you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you
Brad's
ever
like,
feel
dang,
like
I wish my friends.
did you ever feel like you could go tell your parents about something like that? Like
No.
like any of you, like when
No.
you came
Hell
across it?
no.
It wasn't even
way.
a thought to tell my
My
parents.
gosh.
It was like,
We didn't
yeah,
even
I'm
have
keeping
the
that
birds
to
and the bees
myself.
talk.
Oh no.
Of course, we weren't going to talk about that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just fascinating. Mine was like Brad and
Ty?
Whitney's.
sorry. Yeah, I guess because you said 4th grade. I'd say mine was like 2nd, 3rd grade.
I'm so young.
What was it?
Magazine?
Obviously a magazine.
Yeah, it was a magazine and it was on the bus.
Oh.
Like, because we had to ride the bus home. And so I had, like,
imagine
there was
that's probably
kids
a
that would
common
bring
story.
it and it was in the back of the bus. And then it became a thing where I remember even building like a little box where he gave me a page and I would like fold it up and I would keep it.
Oh,
I
wow.
would put it in like a little box up in a tree house. Like I made a tree house and I would
yes.
keep it out in the tree.
The safety house. It's like your
Oh my
vault.
But then like, I think I got rid of it at some point and I don't ever remember like, at that point it was just like
Or somebody
JC
found it.
Penney magazines, you know, like the big thick catalog.
Justin had a porn cottage in the tree.
Of J.C. Penney catalogs?
Yeah, did you not ever remember like flipping through those
No.
to like the underwear section?
That is
Did they have
not
a photo
porn.
section?
Huh?
I think you
It
said it
was
was
like-
that thick.
Oh.
It was no, it wasn't porn.
It was.
We used to
It
get
was
the
just-
Victoria's
it's like a
Secret
clothing-
catalog.
just
Just
Like,
a clothing catalog.
Roll
Like-
that up.
Whoa.
I put that in my backpack.
What was so thick?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
great.
hilarious.
Yeah.
2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade.
You know what's also fascinating? And we're gonna get to you.
I'm
Ty.
sure.
It's weird that I like just assumed as a female that you would have never ran into pornography until you were older. Like
Well, without
that I project that. Does that make sense? Like
Without
it's
that,
just
I don't think
fascinating
it
that-
was like, I don't remember seeing
anywhere else.
anything else until, well, probably junior high. Because I had a friend that we had to sleep over. Her parents got divorced. And we had to sleep over at her mom's, and
We're
she
unlocking
found
all the.
I know.
she found like the late night channels,
Oh,
right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Come over, watch movies.
classy.
She's like, look what I found,
Oh,
and they were trying
yeah.
to teach women how to give good blowjobs,
Oh,
Hmm.
Brad,
like a lollipop. I remember.
how are the lessons?
Yeah.
my gosh.
Is this
Wow.
a first or a best episode?
Wow.
Still around.
That's hilarious. Hi.
I was probably 10, so like second, third, well, I guess third grade. And
So young.
I would, on Saturday, sometimes I would go with my dad to like measure homes for carpet and stuff, for floor coverings of or whatnot. And I remember my dad had borrowed somebody else's car or something like that. And he said, just, wait in the car because it's a new house, and new houses typically don't have railings and stuff. So he didn't want me falling from the second floor to the first floor. So I just stayed in the car, and I'm just like looking around this car because I have nothing better to do. And in the back seat pocket behind the driver was a Playboy.
In your dad's car?
Well, in the car.
borrowed car.
The borrowed car.
Or whatever.
The bishop's car.
Probably. So yeah, I just kind of flipped through that. That was like, yeah, that was the first time.
Curry?
Nope. I can't even remember like the first time.
What?
Yeah. I got nothing.
So many things we're learning.
Okay, every time you say you can't remember, we get to make up what the story
nothing.
was.
So you were in second or third grade?
First grade.
First grade.
First grade.
I got to be ahead of
First
you.
grade.
I literally don't remember the first time.
Like, you don't ever remember like playing around on the internet and like typing in stuff? Because don't you remember like when you actually, the internet came out? Well,
Ours was
I
totally
like
did,
in
but-
the family room with everybody. Like,
Ours was in the kitchen, but I do remember my parents talking to all of us kids like, somebody's been
looking at porn.
looking up stuff they shouldn't be looking at. And I was like,
Were you always
what were they
curious what that
looking at?
was?
Yeah.
Are they looking at wedding dresses this early? Weird.
I mean, I knew it was bad, but in my mind, I'm like, what is it that people are searching? Yeah.
It was the twins. It's always the twins.
I was
I'm
always
sure it was my
so
brother.
worried.
I mean, come on.
I was always so
Brooke was
worried
there,
about the
too.
history, like of people being able to look at the history. Remember that? Like that you
Oh,
could
yeah.
actually look at like the search history. I was always so worried about that.
yeah, ours
But I
was
never
always out
seemed to
that I
have gotten
never,
caught.
it was never an option. Like, I just knew it probably was never an option.
That's fair.
Sad life.
So 40? 40?
You were so
week-
sheltered.
Was it while you were dating Justin or his best friend?
You found Justin's magazine.
Both.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure that we have many of firsts that we,
We have
could
many.
go
This is
on
going to
and
have to be
on
another
and on.
episode of first.
Totally. It's actually kind of fun. And it actually brings up a lot of like old
Trauma.
buried.
If you could remember.
Yeah,
probably.
if you could remember the trauma.
Well, and I'm sure we've sparked some thoughts in some of the listeners too.
Totally.
So if you have a first that you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear about it. And we will share
Or to
it.
hear the answers too.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, I guess we'll wrap it for this episode.
Cheers to first.
Yay. See you, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Don't forget, you can find us online at tipsyneighbors.com, at the Tipsy Neighbors on Instagram, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Tipsy Neighbors. We hope to hear from you soon.